Something serious. So this topic is actually going to come from last week. We were talking about cheating. End of the topic, end of the conversation. He's like, what about strategy guides? That we were going to talk about it. It decided it needed its whole segment to itself because strategy guides come into a lot of places. First off, do you consider them cheating? Does it ruin replay value? Are they worth the value? So there's a lot to talk about with strategy guides. Peter, feelings on strategy guides, good, bad, cheating. What's your...
When I was a kid, I used to always buy a strategy guide because I just want to like bust it open and look at it before I could even play the game. Or like when my mom's like, you've had enough screen time, and I can sit there and just read the strategy guide. But now it's like, if I open it, I start reading like the story stuff and I ruin it for myself. So I really don't use them anymore. The only one that I have had like really good practical use with was the Skyrim one, because I was sick of looking up stuff online. Just have it on my coffee table. I literally could flip that open quicker and find what I needed than I...
That thing was like an encyclopedia.
I have it right there. It's huge.
Freaking massive.
So now I'm just buying... I still buy strategy guides, but I always buy the collector's edition, the hardcover ones, and it's just vain just to have it on my shelf. That's all it is.
I have the GTA 5 collector's edition.
Nice.
I got that one over there as well.
So what are your feelings on strategy guides then?
I grew up on them, man. Well, I didn't grow up on them. I only have a select few, but the ones that I really, really, really needed and had them for, the number one that sticks out in my head is Morrowind. Because that thing was an encyclopedia. The thing was huge, but the way it was written like it was the guy. It was hilarious. He was funny. The good dude like sat down with this game. You could tell he sat down for 20, 50, 60, 100 hours writing this. Play this game, write the strategy guide. Really helped out. But as far as it being considered cheating, I think that it's a utility. It's a resource. And if you look into a strategy guide, clearly you're stuck. Granted, if you're looking ahead. And you're like, oh, when I had the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time strategy guide, had I not had that, I would have never figured out the Water Temple.
It's fair. Yeah, I think a lot of them have changed though, because back in the day, I remember playing Monkey Island, and they have walkthroughs, but that was a very like puzzle-driven game. And if you look at the thing, it just gives you the answers basically. So if you now it's more like, if you use a strategy guide for GTA, there's still so much like mechanic and shooting involved. They're not gonna
strategy rather than just the answers.
Exactly.
It's truly a strategy guide. It kind of gives you a direction to move.
Even if you know all the answers, doesn't mean you're going to do it unless you're like half decent.
I think that there is a cheating element to it. I mean, in a lot of strategy guides, there's just cheat codes in the back,
But that goes back to our cheating conversation.
Yeah, those are cheat codes. But I guess if you're using, it's hard because strategy guides. I mean, you said that anything that kind of gives you an edge is cheating, and strategy guides give you an edge. That's what they're there for. Prima Games has been making them for decades.
Prima.
Yep.
Prima.
Thank you.
Prima.
I say Prima because I'm not Italian.
Prima.
Okay.
Prima.
So you sound like you are a strategy guide aficionado. What feelings on strategy guides?
Prima verde. No, but so I'm kind of like Peter. Like I grew up off that Game Freaks, game FAQs, right? That kind of stuff, like on the internet when it was like dial up. I do it now too. Like I buy the collector's edition when like a new game comes out, if they're available. I don't so much do it for me anymore. I mostly just do it now for like the fam. Like my wife, like she loves having guides. She likes having it out. She's definitely a book reader. So like having it in front of her to go through that kind of stuff. And then like now a lot of these collector's editions, they come with an e-guide code on the back, which I love because my catalog is actually built off whatever I buy her. I just take the digital copy and pull it up on the computer if I'm stuck or if I want to find like one of those little trinkets you got to go through and collect for a trophy. Because I hate looking up YouTube videos and like watching and being like, I still don't know where this guy is at, and then skip the video 30 seconds in. You're like, oh, it's right by the cathedral. Shit. Like, and then going and find the little trinket. Yeah. So I do like the guides for that kind of stuff.
Like GTA, like find all the pigeons. And it's like 100 of them. Like, you go ahead and use a strategy guide. Like, be a normal person.
Like a map that has like all stuff designated. I love that stuff.
That's why I like the Division, because you can unlock the dogs that just tell you where
stuff
is.
Yeah.
I love it.
So there's one, I don't even know if I'd call it a strategy guide, but every year it comes out. I waste my money on it. It's the same thing as it was last year, but I buy it every time because there's like 6 new editions. The Pokedex.
I knew it.
Every time I buy the Pokedex, and they always come out in two. They always come out as a strategy guide, and then there's a second one that comes out as the Pokedex.
The last one sucked balls though.
Normally I skip over the strategy guide and I just buy the Pokedex, and they actually, so the last one wasn't super useful, but it was really cool.
But they changed the size of it. Nintendo has these stupid little half They went from like full size to half size strategy guides
Size.
now. So on my shelf, it looks garbage.
It looks really nice though on its own though because it looks like a book. It doesn't look like a strategy guide. It's like a book. It's hard covered. It's got like a hardback.
No, they ruined it.
No, you're
I
wrong.
used to have the Pokédex that looks like Ash's Pokédex.
Do you know how much those
Yeah,
things are
the
worth
original
now?
one, like,
those
way
things are
back?
worth like incredible amounts of money because
Seriously,
there's
like the ones you got from like the Scholastics, like
I have,
booklets
I have
from
an
school?
actual
Oh my
I have
God.
an actual Pokédex somewhere. You open it up and it's got like the little 8-bit figure Pokédex. And you click
Yeah,
through
you
it.
can click
no,
through
those
them.
things are worth like a ton of money because there's like 6 of them left because every kid broke theirs because they ran around. They're like, I'm Ash. And then eventually they wanted to throw their Pokeball and without thinking they threw their Pokedex and it snapped and broke. And so there's like 6 of them left in existence or
I
something.
kept mine in my room.
my
and No
God.
one saw because no one knew I was into Pokemon.
Well, it's probably worth something now.
I ran a racket at school.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Strategy guides to me, I feel like there is a certain element, like you said, where it kind of does give you an edge, where that edge almost feels like cheating.
What about learning multiplayer maps? They're not like heat maps because you can get heat maps now. But like before, it would give you an edge, like Halo. You know how you pick up the guns; it would tell you where all the guns are on the map. So before you get into multiplayer, I know that on this map there's these guns. I know all my, routes.
Go for it because it's multiplayer.
And
Do whatever
really-
you want, and you're gonna get smoked regardless.
I don't feel like that's really cheating either, because all it does is put you like 2 matches ahead of everybody else. Because once those people have played those matches 2 or 3 times, they know where
They
all the
get
guns
used to
are.
it.
Yeah, so it really just like, and if you pick up the game even like a week late and you buy that strategy guide, all it does is put you on like an even playing field with the people who are currently playing.
Because my Halo Reach strategy guide, I used it because it would tell me damage ranges between, hey, you're in this range. Had all the fall off on it. It was really cool. But it's just kind of those things are getting outdated now.
But
So
like on
that's-
multiplayer, it gets outdated like instantly too because they just do like what they balance the weapons
Or
and
variants
then-
of the same map where it's
Yeah.
like they block off a portion.
Well,
and
they
then it's
change
just
something,
like,
and
yeah.
then
Patch
your
it a
strategy
million
guide
times,
is
yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
in ink. It doesn't change.
That's
so.
the thing with guides too. That's like really tricky these days because like Street Fighter is big on that, right? Like he's saying, it gives you the advantage. Like this is the hitbox size to this punch, and then it's like they come out and patch something because they're like, this kick was way too damn powerful. We're sorry. And then it's like it nerfs your book, and then like you gotta like, would you go back in there and mark it with a marker like where it's at now, or would you just be like,
well, that's
Well,
what
you'd have to use pencil because they're just going to nerf it.
oh,
again
they
and
could
change
they
it.
could change it again.
What was it?
Shit.
Was it GameSpot magazine? I think it was.
For what?
For the very middle of it was those paper cheat codes, but for like the fighter games, it would have like people's like ultimate combos. and
Wasn't
stuff
that
in it.
like the ones that would also come with demo discs like, in the plastic wraps, and like you'd have to
Yeah.
like,
Back in the day.
oh man,
I love that back
God
in the day.
damn it, what happened with my
What always
life?
made me laugh was the.
I think that's the one sad thing about the current age of life is strategy guys are going the way of the dodo, and I love them. I grew up on those things.
There's still tons of strategy guides. Every game has a strategy guide.
And now
Just
they're
go
doing
buy
the
it.
digital copy, so it's like they're just finding a different format to print themselves on.
Right, but
No, strategy guides are not dying because there's one strategy guide, and as long as these strategy guides keep coming out, strategy guides are alive and well because they still sell them. It's
They
the
make a ton
goddamn
of money.
Madden
Yeah, they do.
strategy guides.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
If
was gonna
you
bring up.
buy a Madden strategy guide, I'm talking to you. You suck.
You're doing it wrong.
you're
you-
playing Madden.
Suck.
Yeah, that's
Straight
the
up.
first problem.
What the fuck is a Madden strat? I've looked through them and I still don't
It's
understand
it's
what the
playbook.
I have
shit
no
is.
idea.
The fucking playbooks are in the game.
Yeah, but you have it, so I don't
So
know.
I,
You have backstory, Brandon. It's,
It's
not
like
always about the
player
ball,
stats.
right? It's about
it's my
player
coach.
stats.
My coach obviously has like. Fuck
But
you,
even then,
you
like
suck.
the strategy guide for those games wouldn't make any sense because you can add a player with variable stats
Mm-hmm.
into it with a variable
Yep.
thing. It's an RPG.
As soon as you buy the
With it
game
makes
and
no
that
sense.
guide, it changes. As
They'll
the
never
minute
go
you
away
make an account.
because like they make so much money in them. I feel like really sorry for the people who write those. You know how much the people that write those get paid?
Like garbage.
Like $200 to $500 a book.
You know the best ones that have been written?
Marlin.
Really close. Dark Souls. Because those ones are written by the actual community themselves. Did you guys see that? Like, if you ever looked like on the inside of those ones, I was only told because people that are into Dark Souls, it's like a huge community. So like, hey, did you know it's written by this YouTuber? I'm like, shut the fuck. Like, go look and like, there's this YouTube tag.
Well, that's a new thing is now.
That's
like,
crazy.
Edit our wikis and you can write it yourself.
Yeah.
And basically, you're just getting them to do the work for free, and then people come to your website and read
Yeah.
the strategy
Yeah.
guide.
So it's like a really cool way to be like, hey, we want the community. We want you to be part of our Dark Souls game. You guys are awesome. We love you. We're not going to pay the really dirt wage we paid someone to write it anyways. We're just going to have you guys write it for free.
Yeah.
You know what strategy guides are also worthless? Minecraft strategy guides.
Oh my God. Changes
Those are
like
actually
the
good.
minute.
I was going to say, I might actually disagree on that.
I
'cause
haven't-
I've
I haven't
watched
done
it.
There's ones that tell you like, oh, this is how you build stuff. I mean,
Have you seen
one,
the survival
there's
guides?
one that I
Yeah.
thought was
Those
really
are
cool.
cool.
I have
it was
the
like a
Redstone
redstone
one.
manual.
Yeah.
That's the one I have, and I fucking
one's
love that
really
thing.
good.
The Redstone manual.
Oh, yeah, I think
I
it's cool
love
as
the
fuck.
Redstone manual. That
So
that
they're
thing
not all
opens your eyes.
bumkus.
It teaches you how to. Well, that's different. That's not really a strategy guide. That teaches you how to make
That's
circuits.
tips and tricks.
There's
That's
one
a
that's
guide.
like how to mine and how to use a sword. Like,
Yeah,
you're
that
fucking
kind of
retard
stuff.
if you need that. But
Like
the
here's how
Redstone
to
one's
build
cool.
a castle.
Yeah.
Like it limits your imagination. You're ruining the point of the game, which is the ultimate freedom. You know, but the Redstone, like that's basically an intro guide to being an electrician because it teaches you how to build closed circuits, open circuits. Like,
What's your favorite strategy guide that you have?
Ooh, don't start with me. Give me a minute. I got a big,
Okay,
I
I'll
got a
go.
big collection.
You're gonna have to go as well because I'm with him. I have
Okay.
I got to pick. I got to comb through them.
mine was the original. I have the big book that has of the Elder Scrolls Morrowind Game of the Year edition. And it's written by this hilarious. I don't know the guy's name, but it's hilarious. The metaphors in it are funny. It teaches you everything you need to know about the game. Every cave. There's like 500 caves in the game, and everyone in detail teaches you where everything is, describes it, and like the greatest thing is like it's next to the lamp on the chest, 3 spaces up on a book. Like that's where you find the gem. Like
My favorite one right there is going to be my Nino Kuni one. I love that book.
Oh, you have one?
I have
Those
one.
things go for a
No,
lot.
not the Wizard book.
Oh man,
just the strategy
come on.
guide.
I was gonna steal that
Which
and
book?
run.
The Wizard book came in the collector's edition. It was the actual like one with the spells.
That collector's
but
edition.
it was that collector's
is
edition that
Wh-
nobody
which
has.
one
my
is it?
unicorn.
Nino Kuni.
Period.
never heard of it.
Get out. Zach just
Podcast's over. You guys, we're done. We're done. Shut it down.
What is it?
Yeah,
never
hold
played
on.
Ni no
Do
Kuni?
you know what Studio Ghibli is?
No.
Oh, come on, Princess Mononoke, like
Spirited Away.
Howl's
I grew
Moving
up
Castle?
on Blood and Guts.
That's Princess Mononoke. Like you just
I know.
backed yourself
I
into-
know Princess Mononoke.
Okay, the people that
Give me
made those movies, right?
They do all the animation and artwork.
They
for
did a
it.
game, and that was
they did
Nino
the
Kuni.
They didn't do the game,
they did
They
the
did
animation
animation, but still, whatever. It was great.
They did the artwork for the
It
game.
is like
fucking brilliant.
the best JRPG of the PS3.
And we're getting Nino
Hands down.
Kuni.
Yeah.
It's actually Nino
I
Kuni too. But
think that the only JRPG worth playing is Lost Odyssey.
So I was really stupid though. When we went to PSX, they did have the Wizard book, but it was only in Japanese.
I would have got it still.
And I hesitated. I was like, maybe, because it was like $40 or something just for the
I would've
book
done
and
it.
the Japanese copy.
I would have
again.
had Shuhei sign
And I
it.
came back and it was sold out. And I was like, damn it, I'm an idiot. I should have bought that. But
Guaranteed $250 online, even with Japanese.
I wouldn't resell it. But
I wouldn't
still.
resell it either, but man, it's good to know you have that sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
What about you, Brandon? Favorite strat guide?
honestly, it's just gonna go back to one of the Pokedexes, and it's just because, like, honestly, like. So I do tournament play. I spend a lot of time on those, like in the tournament play, building teams and stuff like that. And a lot of, being part of like the tournament circuit for Pokemon is knowing Pokemon's abilities, their weaknesses, their strengths, what attacks they can learn. Like there's a whole lot that goes into that.
You're
So,
like a mob boss. Like the way you're wording this to me, you're like, I'm in a circuit, I'm in a ring. They call me lead dog.
That's right. That's
Did
how
I
you
use
do
I
it.
want
that
water
black and
types
white
into
one?
the ground.
We used so much.
No, like literally, you comb through that book and you're like, okay, so this Pokemon is this and this, and it can learn this attacks, which means it's gonna be weak against that. Oh, and wait, it's got special defense, but people are gonna hit it with physical attacks. Okay, and it's like there's like a billion different things that run through your head. So I've like combed through those.
And then
books.
somebody just
Yeah.
comes out with like a
See-
key theft or key cleft or whatever.
I'm
and just rocks
afraid.
your
I'm
world.
afraid because you got me back into it.
Yes.
And
You playing Pokemon now?
Oh yeah, he's always.
I've been playing it.
He's
Last
always
time-
been.
Last
into
time
it.
we
I've always
hung
played
out,
Pokemon.
we drove down. We got him a copy of the game.
Omega Ruby.
He played. He's
I'm,
hooked.
I'm almost on the last. I'm almost to Elite Four. I stopped playing because I started going back to work. But
Shit.
but my
for
problem
the
with
win. Leave
games,
work.
same problem I had with WoW, same problem I had with any MMO I play. I number crunch because that's what I do for a living.
That's what you should do. You number
I'm a-
crunch.
I'm
and make
a-
a tournament team.
I'm a critical analyst for a business with just numbers on a screen all day long, and I love it. It's my passion. And so when I get that's why I hate Pokemon is because Pokemon. Last time I played it, I got really hardcore into it. There weren't that many Pokemon. It was easy.
Oh, there's plenty of
Now
Pokemon
that
now.
now it's tripled in size, and now it's a problem.
That's once again going back to that Pokedex. Is like you said, it's tripled in size. So you read through the first Pokedex, you get 150. You can regurgitate. That's pretty easy. Now we're up to like 600. Each one of those, and each time, types change. They learn different attacks. They have different abilities. So
They
that's
add types like fairy.
yeah. So that's all stuff you have to regurgitate and remember and keep on track. And you're like, wait, did he have that attack in the last generation or is it in this generation?
Oh, and then Mega Evolutions change Pokemon on a fundamental level.
Yeah, like it changes Pokemon's types. It
It's crazy.
changes their stats. It does a whole lot to the game.
We're like
so it's,
way off topic already.
no, Pokemon is the topic of always.
Right? We should have a whole topic dedicated to Pokemon at some point, though.
Facts.
But Josh's favorite strat.
Favorite strat guide.
I would
I
ask
said
you,
Morrowind.
Zach's.
Zach's turn.
Zach's turn.
Oh, it's on you now.
I could
Took
talk
me a
about it
bit,
again.
and I still have it, and it's not doing so hot because of its age. But I've got a Majora's Mask
Nice.
strategy guide, and
I still have pieces of that in my house.
yeah, so I've got the full thing with the poster inside still, and to this day, that was probably like one of my most used guides because going from Ocarina of Time, figuring it all out, Majora's Mask, the 3-day system as that age threw me off. And then realizing after I beat the game the first time, there's something called Deity's Mask. And then I had the need to go back and get all the masks, and that guy was worth its weight in gold.
Have never beaten Majora's Mask.
It is so sad.
I don't grieve well.
I know.
Well, you know the story behind Majora's Mask, why it's got that 3-day cycle, correct? Do you know it?
Because like the moon is going to crash into this town.
No, like why the game is written like that.
No, I don't know why
Safe
the
space.
game is written like that.
So basically, after Ocarina of Time came out, it was such a success that they were like, we need you to put out another game. It needs to be in a similar format to that, and we need it done in like
A year.
like a crazy short amount of time. So the dude was under like immense amount of stress, and he was under this super crunch like deadline. Like basically that was all he did was work on Majora's Mask to get it out in their deadline, make it smooth, make it playable. So he wanted to mirror the stress that was put on him to make the game for all the players.
in 3 days.
So you had a 3-day time limit because he was on such a short time
That
limit. to
also
put this game.
stretches the content of the game because you just have the same content in 3 different days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and the book taught probably one of the most important things like I could never find in the game, the Song of Day 2, like the second day. You would just rewind instead of going back to day 1. You would just rewind to day 2,
Filling
and it
the
was such
the
a
Bomber's
shortcut.
Notebook.
Oh my god! Right, the thing was such a frustrating
So
headache.
pain in the butt. Like I still haven't
Oh,
beaten
I'm
the game
cringing.
because I've never done the temples, but I've gotten close to the Bomber's Notebook, and you have to do all this stuff.
Oh,
and I remember having the book, and I actually couldn't get past the water temple because I have a very real fear of large things underwater. Like
Yeah,
whales.
me too. Like, and it's only in video games. Like, video games like just trigger that for
Oh,
some
no, I'm
reason.
afraid of Shamu. Fuck that guy.
So, I mean, even from 4 gamers who've been gaming our whole lives, we obviously all have strategy guides that we still love. We have that connection with. We still go out and buy them. We maybe don't use them as much as other people do. We might not use them the same way other people, but there is merit there. They've got quality still, whether it's to collect.
I really like them. Like when now I don't read them so much, but like the Fallout one came with all the like prints and stuff.
Yep.
And stuff
I'm
like
more
that.
like
likely
that
to buy
extra stuff.
I'm
That
more
stuff,
likely
yeah.
to buy an art book than I am a strategy guide now.
Yeah.
So if you are somebody who buys strategy guides, let us know what your favorite is. Let us know why you use them. And if you think they're stupid, well, I guess let me know. I was going to yell at you.
Tell us
but-
your favorite strategy guide down in the
And
comments.
comment and tell Josh all about Studio Ghibli and Nino Kuni.
Please.
And why he should
link
play it.
him GIFs.
Don't.
So you can
Yes.
kind of watch little
All the
segments and get
GIFs.
stuck in
All of them.
the magic of
I
Studio
call it
Ghibli.
gifts.
It's pronounced GIF.
He just came out of retirement and he's doing another movie. Throwing that in there. That's awesome.
Animated
Like the
GIF?
third time?
No, Miyazaki.
Miyazaki.